Even though Meghan had let it be known she wanted a home birth, it was probably very realistic that her first child at 37, it was going to be born in hospital.
The certificate lists the private...
What you're about to hear isn't some whispered theory anymore. It's a full-blown media inferno, torching its way closer to Buckingham Palace with every passing hour. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are in absolute crisis mode, and a singular, relentless force is driving the chaos. A woman known only by her initials, DL. But don't let that anonymity fool you. DL isn't hiding. She's armed with receipts, and she's ready to expose a secret that could shatter the royal family to its foundations.
So at the time, Archie Mountbatten Windsor was born May 6, 2019.
DL isn't just claiming to be a surrogate in the vague Hollywood sense. No. She states she was the medically confirmed, tightly contracted gestational carrier who delivered not one, but both of Harry and Meghan's children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Let that sink in for a moment. This isn't about a suspicious baby bump on a morning walk. This is a woman asserting those royal children. I carried them. I birthed them. And I have the ironclad documents to prove it. Hospital records, signed NDAs, alleged payment logs, confidential emails, even agency documents from a California-based surrogacy firm. DL claims she has it all. She was promised two things: privacy and payment. Instead, she says she was brutally erased from the narrative, dismissed like a forgotten vessel. Remember the initial announcement of Archie's birth? No grand hospital steps like Kate and William. No professional photographers, no media swarms. Instead, we saw Harry, alone, awkwardly grinning in front of a horse stable, declaring, "We had a baby." Suspicious then? Absolutely. Downright chilling now. DL coming forward has reignited an avalanche of old questions, and the internet is on fire. Millions of views are pouring back into those infamous pregnancy clips. The bump that oddly folds when Meghan sits, the belly that dramatically shifts size between public appearances just days apart. At the time, these were dismissed as nonsensical conspiracy theories. But now, even mainstream commentators are asking, wait a minute, we need to talk. Because if DL's claims hold even a sliver of truth, this isn't just tabloid fodder. This is constitutional chaos.
One of the biggest red flags at the time, now looming larger than ever, was Archie's birth certificate. When it was finally released, people noticed something off. Meghan's full legal name, Rachel Meghan Markle, was removed and replaced with Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. The palace called it a clerical change, and Meghan later claimed she had no idea it happened. But with DL's accusations now on the table, that clerical change is screaming calculated legal maneuver. Why? Because if Meghan wasn't the biological or birth mother, listing her as such could have meant falsifying a legal government document. You see where this is going, and what's Harry doing through all of this? According to multiple insiders, he's unraveling. Sources close to the Sussex camp claim he's barely sleeping, snapping at staff, and endlessly pacing their Montecito estate. One former aide even said he's caught in a lie he thought he could control. Meanwhile, Meghan's silence is deafening. No carefully curated social media posts, no podcast teasers, no "Hello Sunshine" Instagram captions. Nothing. Yet, her legal team is working overtime. Reports suggest they've already sent cease and desist letters to media outlets even considering interviewing DL. They've also reportedly filed preliminary injunctions in California to delay any public release of DL's damning documents. The strategy is clear: delay, distract, deny. But DL isn't backing down. She's calling their bluff, stating she's ready for DNA testing, willing to testify under oath, and has nothing to hide. That kind of boldness doesn't come from a bluffer. It comes from someone who knows their story checks out. DL asserts she was recruited through a high-end California surrogacy agency in late 2018 and was kept in isolation during both pregnancies. No friends, no family, just total discretion. Her care, housing, medical appointments, even psychological counseling, were allegedly handled directly by Meghan's team. But after Lilibet's birth, the door slammed shut. Communication ceased. Care stopped. She was, as she puts it, a vessel, nothing more. That's when she started meticulously documenting everything: emails, ultrasound appointment logs, financial records, photos from inside medical facilities. And while the NDA she signed was reportedly airtight, she claims it was violated when she was cut off from care, freeing her to speak. So why now? According to DL, it wasn't revenge. It was health. She developed postpartum preeclampsia after delivering Lilibet and was denied adequate follow-up care. That betrayal lit the fuse, and now the flame is spreading fast. Legal experts in the UK are scrambling, digging through centuries-old texts and protocol books to answer the unthinkable question: what happens if a royal heir was born by a secret surrogate? If Harry and Meghan used a surrogate and deliberately failed to disclose it, did they unintentionally commit fraud against the crown? This has never happened before, not at this level. If the truth was buried for PR purposes, it might force the monarchy's hand, potentially invalidating Archie and Lilibet's royal standing and even their princely titles. This scandal isn't just burning down royal bridges. It's igniting fires in the entertainment industry, too. Meghan's Archewell brand, once a beacon of post-royal reinvention, is now under immense pressure. A-list contacts who once championed her are suspiciously quiet. Celebrity endorsements have slowed to a trickle. Podcast deals are paused, and quietly behind the scenes, sponsors are asking, what else haven't they told us? A major wine distributor that had signed on to help launch Meghan's upcoming lifestyle brand is reportedly backing out, citing brand safety concerns. Translation: this scandal is poison for business. This was supposed to be Meghan's redemption year, a pivot from controversy to commerce. But all of that is being smothered under the weight of one woman's accusations. Even Netflix, which aired the Harry and Meghan documentary, is reportedly reviewing its content to assess whether any information may have misrepresented timelines or family history. And have you noticed the silence from Oprah? The woman who gave Meghan and Harry their most explosive platform back in 2021 has not commented on the new allegations. Not a word. Why? Because if these claims are true, it means Oprah's now infamous interview may have included serious misrepresentations. And for someone as powerful as Oprah, being played doesn't sit well. We're now in what media experts call the silent scream phase. A story that grows louder, not because of new revelations, but because of the deafening silence from the people involved. And if DL goes public again, which sources say she's planning to do on a major international morning show, there may be no turning back. The moment she drops even a portion of the medical records or opens up about direct conversations with Meghan's staff, public sympathy could pivot entirely toward her. The carefully curated image of the woke modern royals, the activists, the spiritual parents, that image is hanging by a thread. The story they've told the world for 5 years is starting to feel like a script, and DL just exposed the deleted scenes. Meanwhile, reports from inside the Sussex's Montecito compound describe an atmosphere bordering on unbearable, operating in crisis mode. Staff are resigning or taking sudden extended leave. Harry has been seen pacing the property at odd hours, muttering to himself, haunted by the idea that his children could one day learn the truth not from him, but from headlines. What's causing the most panic, however, isn't just DL's persistence. It's the fact that media outlets across Europe are no longer playing by the old rules. Major German and French publications have already commissioned full investigative pieces into the origins of Archie and Lilibet's births. European media doesn't operate under the same defamation and privacy laws as the UK or the US, meaning what they publish might not be flattering, and Meghan's legal team would have a hard time stopping it. DL is gaining traction, being booked on morning shows overseas, featured in long-form podcast interviews, and even approached for a book deal. She's being framed not as a fame-hungry attention seeker, but as a whistleblower, a woman who played a pivotal role in a global story and is now standing up to an institution that tried to erase her. That narrative, a silenced woman finally finding her voice, was once Meghan's own calling card. The roles have completely reversed. Behind palace walls, senior aides are reportedly pressuring King Charles to take a firmer stance. While no public statement has been released, discussions have begun around the possibility of quietly reviewing the royal titles of Archie and Lilibet. Not stripping them outright, but freezing them, meaning the titles would no longer be actively used unless further clarification is provided. It would be a subtle, behind-the-scenes maneuver designed to protect the institution without escalating the drama. But even a hint of such a move could send shockwaves through the Sussex camp. Because if there's one thing the monarchy fears more than scandal, it's uncertainty. And DL's emergence has introduced a level of uncertainty they've never had to deal with before. What happens when Archie and Lilibet grow older and see these headlines? No matter what Meghan and Harry say next, whether they deny, admit, or try to spin, the damage is already in motion. The court of public opinion isn't waiting for royal approval. And for Meghan Markle, if there was ever a moment she wished she could turn back time, this might just be it.